This is how Carnival has screwed the pooch. This right here, this VIFP is now going to become probably a collector's item because you can say bye-bye to the VIFP because apparently Carnival doesn't think that its loyal cruisers are very important people anymore, or very important fun people, I should say. They announced their new plan, which is what I was afraid of. Basically, after making everybody wait for over a year now, I think, dangling the promise of this new and improved loyalty program system, they basically completely eliminated the loyalty portion from the equation altogether. And now it's a pay-to-play program. They literally have turned their beloved loyalty plan, which didn't even give that many amazing benefits to begin with. Until you got to platinum, you got garbage, right? So, but for somebody who loved the brand and cruised, at least once a year, maybe 1.5 times a year if you average out how many times I cruised. It took me over 10 years to finally reach platinum level. I have been on a total of 2 cruises as a platinum member. My third one is happening in October, and that might be my last Carnival cruise, because now they've turned it into a system that is the equivalent of a 1990s credit card reward system where you have to manage points. And you use points to probably buy shitty crap. Like, how many points to buy a hat? How many points to buy a specialty dining experience? How many points to upgrade your cabin? How many points to get a free cruise? Probably like 500 million points. So if you have a lot of money, right, which is not necessarily the type of person that Carnival always, to me, felt like the people's cruise line. It's like they have a lot of fancy options, but then people that wanted a fair balance between value and cost and what they got for their money could go and have an amazing cruise without breaking the bank and have a lot of fun and keep coming back because they offered really good value for the money. It was a great product that didn't break the bank and you could have an amazing time. Every cruise I've ever been on, been like 15 of them now, I think, I've loved, and I've only been on Royal, besides Carnival. I've only done 2 cruises with Royal, and I always had more fun on the Carnival cruises than the ones on Royal. And I've hesitated to try other cruise lines just because of how much fun I have, how the experience on board really caters to my liking, with the comedy shows and the type of music they have and just the ambiance and the tone and the fun ship, vibe, without being crazy overboard party, because I usually travel outside of the busy season, so I'm not getting way too many families where it's like 5,000 kids running around. I'm not getting the booze cruisers, the people who get rowdy because they drink too much, whatever. It seems to be more families and couples and things like that, which is more my vibe, so I really enjoyed it. And I've watched quite a few different cruise vloggers on YouTube, and they're all talking about, oh, how excited we are waiting for the new Carnival thing. We can't wait for this to come in. It's going to be amazing. And I made comments that went completely ignored by every single one of them. Am I the only person on the planet who's not excited for this? Because I understand that this is a corporation. They don't know what to do with this program. They have painted themselves into a corner, and it's going to be bad. It's not going to be good. But I didn't know it was going to be this bad. Where now, if you reach a certain level, you're no longer permanently at the level. So it's kind of like pouring water into a leaky bucket. If you reach the platinum level, you're guaranteed to be safe in there for 2 years until 2028 or something like that. If you're a diamond level, you're safe for 6 years. But then, if you don't spend enough money on board with them, you potentially could be downgraded into the previous, I was going to say loyalty level, but there's no loyalty anymore. The previous level, so you might be downgraded to platinum. And if you go a couple more years or 2 or 3 years or something like that without spending any money on them, you might go back down to gold. So some of these people who are diamond, who've been cruising with them for 20, maybe 30 years because they can only go on 1 cruise per year, are now at risk of not retaining their loyalty status and just losing a lot of the benefits. Not to mention that a lot of the benefits that are included have been cut after June or something of 2026 or something like that. A lot of the benefits these people waited for so many years to finally have and enjoy, if you don't pay to play, they're gone. A lot of those benefits are gone. So they don't care about your loyalty. This is one of the worst moves, actually not one of, it is the absolute worst move I have ever seen done by Carnival in my entire life. I loved in the past tense Carnival. because I gotta be honest, after this one, I may never cruise with them again. This is a slap in the face of their loyal cruisers who don't have the kind of money to cruise 5, 6, 7 times a year, right? Because we work for a living, and now they're going to let the people who spend all this extra money on the suites, or they might cruise 4, 5, 6 times total, and it might be diamond just because they buy a bunch of stuff on board and they upgrade the cabin and buy all these drinks. So they spend, they get rewarded. They get the love. If you don't spend, we don't need you. That's basically what they're saying. Christine Duffy, I think that's your name. If this is your idea, you should be removed. You should be kicked out of that company because you don't understand your own customer base. This is the biggest insult and slap on the face of every loyal Carnival cruiser. I've never been this frustrated with a company that I've devoted so much of my time to than I am with you guys. So I hope my fellow carnies over there, and that's a horrible term, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna call you guys carnies. I hope my fellow Carnival fans over there find out about this and speak their mind, start bashing them on social media, write letters, call them, blow up every point of contact that they have, and voice your opinion, how upset you are about this, because you all just were told plain and simple, we don't care. We only care about your wallet and not you. Screw you, Carnival.